Yeah, exactly.
We'll need a fifth here for that, so. All right, it is 5:34 PM on June 30th. It's the Board of Directors meeting. We do have a quorum. Anthony, Michelle, Sam, Charlie, and the teacher.
Call the meeting to order.
No public,
We have the forum, 5 people. Do we have any public comment?
no public comments received.
Okay, item 3 is review and approval of prior minutes. Do I have a motion?
There you go.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any additions, corrections, changes to the minutes of the last board meeting? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, minutes accepted.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll hit the high notes for you all. What I wanted to let you know is that the state budget, had long last passed. We got 40 million in capital allocation for acquisitions, demolitions. We have another 10 million for operational support, so carry the same level as the last year. And so the only downside is that they are increasing the capital land banks. They did add more money in, but I don't think it's going to affect us. I think one of the challenges is with land banks is spending that money every year. We try not to have that challenge, but we're a larger land bank than others around the state. So
And what are they increasing the cap to?
45, we're at 35 now, they'll be at 45. I think that's going to allow more rural and mid-sized municipalities to come into land banking space. Financial update, and this is because we didn't have quorum for committee, so I'm going to just bring some of this stuff forward to the whole board. Through May 31st, we did we ended on May 31st. We still have a strong liquidity position, $7.3 million in assets, including our real estate. But then we just looked at our bank balances. We were above 4.1 million. We did have a net operating loss of $308,000 through May. That's pretty typical because we pay out early and we start to catch up over the year, like our 250 from multi-county sales that come in. I know Jason has some reimbursements that have to get processed with the state, so just a cash flow for us, but we don't have an issue with making things meet. But overall, that's an improvement of $12,000 better than the same time last year. It's just consistent with our revenue model. Our property dispositions, we did close on the properties from Albany Street to Habitat for Humanity. Setting at Elizabeth Street, that closed on May 1st to our new home buyer there. We got the sales price was $199. We did have a $10,000 credit extended at closing, so our net was essentially $189 plus any other expenses that came out of that. The
And
house
does that go to the, 'cause I know we did a lottery, so that was the person who was chosen or the backup?
went to the first person. Yeah.
Did they use the AHC restorative housing district?
I don't believe she did. So I think one thing that we uncovered after this is that she did not go through AHP to do her home buyer training. And so when we got to the closing table and afterwards, when we saw the statement, she didn't have some of these pieces in there. But this is why we really try to bring people through the important page.
And she had to come up with all the cash.
Yes, that's what came up with. She was able to come up with it. Yeah.
What kind of down payment did they?
I don't remember how much, but I could give you the notes on that.
5%, 2%.
She was working with Chase Bank, so I think it was probably.
Yeah, I think maybe. And they have a first-time home buyers program.
All they do.
Yeah. And that was one that we had to really work with Chase because there were parts of our contract that weren't what they needed. And so that was so I really have to recognize the team because they work with Chase Bank to make sure.
I know what kind of loan was it? Was it an FHA loan? Was it EMI?
FHA
I
loan.
want to say it's FHA,
Yeah.
so it would
So
have
then
been
there's no
three
PMI.
and a half percent.
Yeah.
It was pretty big.
Albany Housing Authority accepted our purchase offers for 73 and 83 Broad Street for a total of $500, and then 100, 102, 104 Third Avenue for a total of $500. And so that's why we have on our list to authorize the closing of those properties, because we did have in the contract they were subject to the board's approval. So The county tax auction is coming up. It starts July 15th through the 29th. We are looking at the list, although we have approached the county and asked them to consider conveying properties outside of auction to us. I did get a favorable response there. They updated a letter because there was one property that was not going to be available for that process. They may conveyed it to somebody else or, represent it to somebody else that they would bring it to them. And so we have 11 properties that we've asked for. And so there's a request for legislative action going to the county legislature to just send those properties to us to bring us out of auction. If that doesn't happen, I do want the authority to go to auction to go for those properties. So that's what you'll see us ask for a resolution to accept those from the county, but then you'll see another resolution where we're asking to be able to bid on the same things in case something falls apart. We don't want
Are they all lots?
They're all lots. They're all lots. Year to date, I think we disposed of 20 properties. We have 6 acquisitions pending closing. I mentioned the tax auction. And then we've been repricing property to reflect our reduced supply conditions. Lynette's been going over those and looking at 30% assessed value. Again, they're asking prices, they're not sticker prices. So if somebody has a case to be made as to why they're offering us something different, we'll review it. But we're just reevaluating those prices. It's been some while since we had done that. Give you an overall sense as to where we are on. I printed that sheet out and I want to say that's it. Well, let me tell you right now, on our KPIs, we sold 2 properties this month. We had 4 office visits, 8,600 website views. Our inventory of property stands at 151 properties. I know Charlie will want to know a little bit more about what that makeup is, and that's the sheet I'm looking for that I had on my desk, and I might have just left it behind here, but I can send. Yeah, I think it's on my desk. But it's mostly lots right now. Stuff, let's see. Project progress. You can see what's happening in the South End. Hopefully you're following our social media. We're going out there about once a month, updating pictures, posting them to our website. We have a whole gallery to show the progress on that project. I think they're a little behind. They're trying to get as a general contractor to try to make up some time there. I did talk to the NDG team today. We talked about home ownership. They are talking to Habitat about how they might be able to make that all work. And the question is whether the process to bring Habitat in the project is more work than just doing than us just going out and doing an RFP for home ownership and that, and then letting it. We would do the RFP because we're the owners.
We're letting them off.
We might have to let them off though. If the goal is to get this across the finish line and not let their development get too far ahead, and then because here's my concern is that the MDG team gets the far ahead on their development, and then the homeownership piece, there's a lot of vacant lots. The homeownership piece element is going to take up. So we don't want to just leave vacant lots through a neighborhood that's been filling in. We want to continue that momentum. So between all the movements that would have to happen to bring Habitat in, it might just make more sense just to do a limited 30-day RFP.
How many units do they build?
For right now,
No, the size of the project, how many apartments do they build?
166.
166. And do you know roughly how many buildings that is? It becomes scattered sites,
Yeah.
The original developers, they want to do the office building. One building, and the neighbors don't like that because it's not appropriate for the neighborhood, which is part of what the land bank does. And they say, hey, you can't do that. And so they agreed to scatter site, which is harder. And they're building a couple foundations, and it's hard, but it's also good. If you go down there and look at it, they're all the same foundation. The guy was just, okay, here's 10 foundations on 2 blocks, boom. So the scatter site, low rise, low density approach is the way you want to go.
I believe it's about a dozen sites. I'm going to say about.
Yeah.
So we only got a dozen sites, and some of those are multiple parcels that have been put together for a larger building, some are a single building, so that it's a bunch of different forms.
Down where I
That's
started.
out then.
Yes,
Yeah, all
yep,
those foundations.
Yep,
And
yep.
then the from New Jersey.
Yep. yeah, I've seen it. I actually saw when he first started.
That's where I first started, 1969, the house at Stephen and Street.
Wow.
The hallways, the Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, I anticipated your question. 19 sites, there's 19 building sites down there. There you go. Sorry. No news on the Bradford and Ontario, well, it's really Ontario and West Street right now. We have to wait for the next 9% round to open back up. They are going to try to get some funding out of Empire State Development, and Jason's working with Regan's team on that.
That's a project driving, the old project driving.
It's Regan Development. But the project Thrive, we spun off to Patrick.
True. Oh, so that's the one across the street.
Yeah,
So
we
they were
were
good.
controlling that, but he seems to be working.
The old DMV.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Oh, really?
the other side, yeah, we're on,
Yeah,
we're the
that's what we're
DMV
talking
side.
Okay.
Strive, we spun off to Chew, and he's actually doing it.
Yeah, he's finished,
So I went to the IDA to get money. and stuff.
he finished 260 Bradford. I've been to the building. We posted it on our website as of what's happening with that. And then he had teams already in the building cleaning it out. They're going to go up 2 levels. They're going to put 2 stories up on that building when they do that. So they have to do some interior work, like a removal roof. But the winter took care of that one part of the building. It took the roof down for them. So they were doing something out there.
This is specialty.
Yeah, Henry Johnson Boulevard, Clinton Avenue, co-development, so, that PSAs are terminated. We have all of the approvals, we have all the, development, product in our possession. I did send a letter to the city because the approvals, expire in August, and so we did send a letter to the planning board asking them to renew it. I asked for 2 years. I was, instead of 1, we have to do a little bit of work on that. So we've been talking to the city about that. I think, we're going to continue our path of community engagement to find out and then still make sure that this makes sense to the community. I hope it does, because it's pretty far along. And then we're going to have to RFP it out again to see who's out there, whether somebody wants to take the project as is, with everything all approved. I think we just have to make one adjustment to the building that got demolished with the mural on it. We have that was going to be a renovation, so that would be a new construction, so either they can infill or
Like,
change
somebody
some
painted
lighting.
the side of the building, is that our building?
No, that's the privately owned.
Because it stopped, they
Yeah,
didn't do the top floor.
I noticed that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Because my office is right down the street.
Okay.
So, yeah, I noticed that too.
And then in Flip the Block, just for right this weekend, Lynette, all the 3 buildings that need to be demolished are down.
Yes.
The last step that we need to do procedurally, and it's on tonight's agenda, is to flip the properties with Habitat. And when we do that, we'll make sure our property is cleaned up, and we'll ask them to do the same as that we're exchanging properties that are in similar conditions. 360 Sheriff.
And then what? What's next?
Oh, then we have to go in for funding from the state.
Okay.
So that'll be the next piece. And then we can't
Fill out the application here, or?
Well, we have it ready, but we can't submit it because once we submit it, we can't work on it anymore. So we're finding
You're still
time.
submitting for the same number of units?
No changes there.
As time goes on, lots become available, demolitions happen on the block. I was asking Jason to try to know more about who are left and right, so we can see if there's anything else we can roll in there.
Yeah.
Do you know whether you've done any of that?
I don't think we have yet, but looking at
Hey, Mark?
where we are right now, I know he's got a lot of things that he's
Yeah.
working for right now, but I know it's on his list.
It's just something when he doesn't have anything else to do, he wants to get out of the office.
Well, yeah, I haven't gotten to the point where I haven't kept Jason's plate full, but I appreciate that he's been on board with us. 360 Sheridan Avenue, substantial project's been made since May. They've got the permanent staircase in place. Sheet rock mudding have all been done. They did the flooring on the 2nd floor.
It's been completely painted, so it's all painted. We're doing all the trim work now, 2nd floor, flooring's down. They're putting doors up on the second floor, they're gonna continue on the first floor. We accepted or approved a quote for the rear deck, so that's gonna get started, and then the front porch is going railing, so we're making really good
Tied on
progress.
a railing for the front porch?
Mhm.
What is it, wood or metal? or-
Our like metal balusters, and then, we're gonna cap the beams for the posts that are in front, yeah, so it's gonna look
Well,
really
they put a
nice.
nice house number on.
I know, I was looking at house
You
numbers
know,
today,
so when people are looking at it, this could be my house,
Mhm.
360, right?
yes.
You know, and I guess we're gonna go ahead and carpet and, you know, obviously the cabinets you're gonna put in and pick
The
the
cabinets have already been ordered,
Because you wanna do, you're gonna put in the carpeting rather than pick your own kind of thing.
yes, we're gonna do the whole thing.
Yeah, because it's sort of damned if you do, you know, if you don't do it, people go, gee, do I really wanna buy this house? But if it's finished, you can go, gee, you know, but you don't like the color, what's worry about that. So I guess you have to, right? That's what we did on Elizabeth Street.
Yeah, so
Finished
we're
out.
gonna do, exactly, so that's.
It's
what we're
only
doing.
if we have people that come in and get through before, you know, if that happens. You know, down the road, if we, this is the pilot for the cluster of 5 more, you know, and then it becomes known that we're building 5 houses, get in while it's hot, you know, line up the AHC, Christina Suttle and those people, and say, you gotta sign up for one of these 5 lots because you can pick your colors.
Our original contract, they were supposed to be done by June 1st, they're not quite there, but I felt that it's fine to extend that, so I just did that through a no cost change order for an extension of time, rather than go through the whole contract process, so that we can keep Jen and their team moving along there. So like, we're already trying to identify, she thinks, you know, they should have all the work done on August 1st, we'll do a punch list, just ask to go through August 31st, so that's our new substantial completion date. So our goal is September 1st, we can start marketing this. So that we would do September, October, and probably have a buyer's lottery November, December. And then get that closed probably February, March. So that's what the timeline looks like on that. Everything else is moving along. You'll hear 45 Second Avenue. I'd like to do an amendment to an existing agreement for demolitions to get that down. So we're gonna extend. Their pricing was pretty competitive, and so there's a timing sensitivity to getting 45 Second Avenue down with the South End development because they're doing work at 47. I want to get that down before they start working on that site.
So resolution on pretty much.
That's on for later, yeah. And yeah, so I'll send out some pictures in the report here.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Yep, I'm gonna email that out, and I'll have the dashboard with that. And we've done with doing an ABO website transparency checklist today. I think I thought I could get more done today before our meeting. It's my downfall. So that's it for the executive director's report. If you have any questions, happy to entertain them.
Or,
Yeah.
orally.
Otherwise, committees, everything was just a summary. There was no action in committees because we didn't have quorums for those.
Tab 5,
And 5, tab 6. Yep.
Executive committee, but that's not this meeting, that's the previous meeting.
That was in June, yeah. So if you just wanted to get caught up on what we,
So if we look at this, this is the current activity of the executive committee, not the previous activity.
this is the June executive.
Okay, we met in July, wasn't
In June.
It's still full.
it? I'm sorry.
We're meeting
You're running
now.
slow. Yeah.
Month, yeah,
You're
We're
running-
meeting now, so we won't be meeting in July, right?
right.
Yes. That's the
Okay,
goal.
so for board members, this is what happened in the executive committee. This one.
That's right, yeah. We did the review of the financials, and then we talked about, I didn't print the sheet out for the rates on the CDPHP, but rates went up. One of the ways CDPHP tried to minimize the impact on rates going up as they extended the high deductible a little higher. And so in the past, we've done 50%, but I don't see a resolution on file that says that. So I just want to clean that up and just make sure that we have a resolution on file that says HSA contribution is half the high deductible, which is better practice. On the real estate committee, We went through enforcement and compliance, and these are gonna be items that you'll see on new business today. 34 Stevens Street, the owners are
Wait a
requesting,
minute.
oh, I'm sorry.
Real estate cash
Yes.
is blank in here, so
The minutes are tapped.
No, time five.
Oh, okay, so under
Yeah.
tab 5.
Time five, right after the executive meeting minutes.
so I'm just not reading it properly.
No, it just
Under real
makes it
estate.
the right place on
Oh,
this.
okay.
I apologize.
So everybody got that?
Yeah.
You'll be rushing through here. Okay, real estate?
34 Stevens Street, the owner requested to transfer the property into an LLC to obtain financing and an extension of the time to complete the work. We recommended approval of those changes. There was no objection in the meeting, but no action taken.
Apologize, I should have, wish I'd attended, my fault for not attending that meeting, but a few questions on that.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, do you want to do it with the resolution? Let's do it. with the
Yeah, we'll do it with the resolution.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I have a question too, so I was wondering if you had my question. but-
Yeah, we'll see. I
Um,
should have been there, so that's my fault. But
And Sean,
Yes.
it was also the reverter release.
But we're gonna refile the enforcement mortgage.
Extension, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't see the minutes of the real estate committee, that's the executive committee.
There they are.
Oh. It's just missed tab.
We talked about an acquisition of 525 First Street. After talking to,
Where are you?
I'm on number 4, new acquisition, just for
Okay,
reviewing that.
thank you.
We had talked about that, but what happened since then is that the owner wants to wait out the 5-year reverter and sell it on her own, because we typically ask for something in it back to release that early, and she doesn't want to move on anything. So her decision, it was the same thing we got with over, like the lot over up in Brevard, last month or 2 months ago, where the owner was going to just wait out the 5-year reverter and sell.
This one was different. This was the one where we gave her 30 days.
Yeah.
To get back to us about.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
We did give her that timeline, yeah, to get back to us. Do you want to just refresh?
Yeah, no, that's fine. So for this one, we gave her, we had presented the option of the land bank purchasing the property because she was scammed by a contractor, she's having financial difficulties, she can't finish it. So at first she was interested in it, but then when we went back, she said that she would like to sell it herself, but she owes significant amount of back taxes, which she can't pay. So there's, she has a lot of hurdles to jump before she can do that. We also told her that the land bank would require a certain percentage of proceeds because she didn't finish, what she set out to do. And we want to discourage people from speculating. So we're waiting for her to get back to us. We gave her 30 days. And once we hit the 30 days, we're going to have to decide how we want to proceed.
So what's the resolution, what are we gonna do?
She's getting 30 days to see if she can find a way to sell this before we come in and try to take it back.
Yeah, so the.
When's the 30 days up? What's the 30 days deadline?
I think it's in 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, it was about 30
Yeah.
days from this committee
So
meeting.
assuming nothing happens, what's next for?
We'll bring this back with the initial proposal here, which was we were going to reacquire the property for $15,000 plus closing costs. As part of the purchase, the proceeds of sale are to pay down the property taxes. Consistent with what we did on 157 Homestead, is that when we acquire it and there's property taxes, we build the property taxes into the acquisition amount and we pay that down. And then we let the county know that we have returned money back to the county, that they don't have to foreclose on property too, so.
So just so I understand, we're gonna purchase it for $15,000 plus closing costs. And whatever her proceeds would be used to pay the back property tax.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, you could say that it was our risk to allow this person to do like these back taxes, trying and failing. But we still want to recover the property for the community, and so we have to eat the back taxes to get it cleared. But that's the cost of doing business, relatively speaking, to get a house back, I'm assuming we feel $15,000 is worth it, do, so that we can get another buyer or do something, so.
Good deal for her. The longer she waits, the more taxes
Yeah,
are gonna
Right.
accumulate.
Yeah.
And the more, if she finds a buyer on the private market, those accumulating taxes are gonna take a bigger chunk out of it.
So have we estimated the scope of work? Once we acquire the property back, how much is it gonna, what do we need to then put into the house to make it viable to sell or whatever we're gonna do with it?
I would say, because I did a walkthrough of the property myself, so I would say maybe 100,000 to bring it back. It's a two-family and it's in pretty good shape. So yeah, I would say around roughly 100,000 or so.
So to make it a two-family.
It's already a two-family.
Yeah, so we're 115 in, and we can certainly sell it for more than 115,
Absolutely.
right?
And it's on
So it's
First
the right
Street.
thing to do, right?
Is the roof good?
The roof needs a little bit of work for sure. But it's solid.
Yeah.
Compared to the other buildings that we have.
Yeah, compared to some of the other things we have in inventory, this is a good building.
Yes.
What's our policy on something like this? So could this individual then come back to the land bank in, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 7 years and get another property from us?
Yeah, if she sells it back to us, yes, but if we have to take it through foreclosure, then no. she can't be able to.
Right, if she loses it through taxes or through
Yeah.
us taking it back, she'd be precluded from coming back for, if I remember correctly, a period of time. But working with us instead.
Yeah.
Be better for her prospects, I think.
And looking at the disposition policy, it is something I want to address because I think we leave it open-ended, almost like as a just
Yeah.
qualification. And I don't think in terms of like somebody trying to restore themselves from past mistakes,
Right.
we want to.
Which wasn't solely her fault because the contractor
Yeah.
Yeah, but
scammed her,
He
basically.
doesn't have a scarlet letter.
Right.
You look at each case individually.
Yeah.
Reminds me of,
Because of the contractor,
Right.
he's the victim too.
Right.
exactly.
So why should we say you can't get a house from him?
Right.
you know?
So just like 25 North First Street, I'd love
Yeah,
that
the
family
same
to,
story, right?
I'd love that family to be able to
Yeah.
get a second bite at that.
And then we discussed or we reviewed acquisition request to Albany County. There was no objection in the committee, but we didn't have anything to bind us to that.
Those are the lots you were referring to in your oral report.
That's right. So 252 and 254 Second Avenue, we own 256 Second Avenue. So it'll give us 3 properties along Second Avenue to work with, 3 lots. There's a cluster at Franklin and Gansevoort Street in the south end that we'd like to work with the county to acquire. It's something they haven't found a reuse for. We'd like to try to get that going, and some additional cleanup, and so we're working through concepts and plans on that, and at least trying to find the funding to get it into the condition that we'll be able to do housing. Right now, it has an environmental easement that prevents that. 40 Slingerland Street in Albany, although I believe that is going somewhere else, or they've asked us to remove that from our request. 28 Bassett Street, we own 3 out of the 4 properties on this Bassett Street triangle, so we're just gonna pick up the last piece and we'll probably work with the community to find some good community use for that. It's close to the highway, but it's adjacent to the lake trail, so there's probably something a community benefit that we can work with partners to
So
identify.
you don't think it's good for housing.
No, I think it's too close to the highway, yeah. And it's in the shadow of Steamboat Square, so it'd be really isolated. And then 319 First Street in the city. And then the swaps here are 290 First Street is the Habitat lot that we would acquire in exchange for 270 First Street, and that's on a resolution there.
I love that Franklin and Gansevoort Street cluster. I know there are environmental concerns, but the city owns the vacant bathhouse right next door to it. And the bathhouse has been for sale for a couple of years now with no legitimate buyers or attempts to buy. So I think that'd be a nice little collaboration between us and the city to package those together potentially.
Yeah, and we'll end up probably creating another LLC to isolate that because of the brownfield condition. We have the ACLB Holdings LLC, but I don't want to put that into that. I'll probably ask that we create a Franklin Indians or LLC or something to be able to hold that property. We just want to isolate that because we know for sure there's a brownfield condition there.
I think the motion in the big picture, we were trying to dump lots because they cost $2,700 a year to hold on to. But when we acquire lots, it's strategic, based on clustering. For what? For new construction, right? And so DMG, we had 70 lots and it became an affordable rental project. But the kinds of lots we're picking up are not suitable to bundle for some out-of-state developer. They're suitable for us to do flips of block, right? Where we're clustering, as I said, we did the pilot house on Sheridan, and then we cluster, because there's this block by block grant program for two-family houses, for example. You can cluster, say 5 or 10 at a time, and go into the state for those. And that's why we're acquiring these lots, so that they become buildable, right? And the ideal for me would be always two-family first, and then if it's too small, a one-family. Because the one-family is not a proper starter home, the two-family is. And you're also addressing the rental problem in the neighborhood with responsible landlords as opposed to some guy from New Jersey. A two-family house, one hand washes the other. The tenants are better because the owner's upstairs, the owner's careful who they rent to. And so by helping the owner own the house by paying for more than half the mortgage, you're also having a responsible rental unit, which works out. And if you go on 2nd Street and look at the 9 houses that built there, you can tell. They're all two families, but you can't tell the rentals, have rental. Because the owners make damn sure who's in that rental unit.
So that's the end of the committee reports, and then we have all of our resolutions for the evening.
Okay. Any questions, folks? Okay, new business is considering resolution 24 authorizing employer contribution to employee HSA account for 50% of the high deductible value. Motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion, presentation? Hearing none. All those in favor of this resolution signify by
Well,
saying
do
aye.
we want to talk about?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you had
Yeah.
something
I'm
else?
not sure what this is.
So we offer, to keep our health insurance costs low to the corporation, we offer a high deductible plan. And that, the land bank has always provided a contribution of half of the high deductible in the form of an HSA contribution. So when the rates adjusted with the plan year for May 1st, that's May 1st through April 30th, that number has adjusted. When I went back through our paperwork to see where we approved that in the past, it wasn't clear. So the practice has been, we have adjusted for 50%. We have adjusted in the past 50% before I got here, but this is the first time that this would adjust since I've been here. And so I just didn't get a resolution that says that. is
Just
the
continuing the
practice.
existing policy.
Right, and what did do you remember what the deductible, because I don't take the health insurance, the deductible was
It went from $2,500 to $3,000.
3,000, right, so it'd be $250 per employee who takes the insurance, which I think is just 4 people right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's $1,000 impact to us this year.
Gotcha, so something was already in place.
Yeah, actually $750, and then, no, it'd be $500, right, because it's gonna go in half the year, and then we'll fix it in next year's budget.
There shouldn't be any significant change in, the budget for next year.
No. Well, the health insurance is gonna go up another 7% next year, they've already asked for a rate hike. And this is why we'll talk again to our payroll provider about the professional employment organization model, which is where the GTM payroll or whatever structure becomes the employer of record. And so that rather than being community rated in terms of our plans, we're rated as that entire group under that GTM professional employment. We would be cool, yeah. So we would pay more we pay for that professional employment organization services, but ideally what we pay in actually leverages us savings through insurance and some of the group buying. So it'll look like we're paying this organization more money, but we're gonna get more support. They'll do a lot of our HR for us. And then like they would handle, what was it that we talked about, like paid family leave or questions about that. Like they would handle all of that really technical HR stuff for us if it comes up. In the past, we used a consultant for that. We don't have a consultant anymore. It's been a number of years. That was before I got here. We stopped using a consultant. And and then we would be able to leverage better health insurance savings. So we did see some numbers last year. It was almost like a push. Like we could change nothing and just keep things the way they are. Or we could go with them and it wouldn't really have any financial impact. But our timing in terms of our planning and it's a commitment for them, we have to start January 1st. So that's why we're not giving you it right now. But we're always looking for ways to save.
So what percentage of the health plan does the land bank pay for each?
We pay for a single employee, we pay the whole thing. And then for the, for a family, I don't think we have anybody in the family plan. But I think for the family plan, we pay the employer share, and then I think we pay half of we split the difference on it.
So there's no requirement of the HSA contribution to go towards any deductibles, they can still maintain that in their savings account until retirement.
Well, it still stays in a health savings account. They establish individual
Right.
health savings.
That can
Right.
go on.
They can
They're
pay
not
that.
required to use it to pay their current.
Right, they don't lose at the end of the year.
Right.
Yep, so they have a catastrophic event, in 4 years, and they've been saving up.
Who manages the investment of the HSA?
Their bank does, so they have to bring a qualified HSA account through their bank and they have to provide a
So
letter.
it's not managed through, it's not our money to manage.
No, once it leaves our hands, it goes to the employees' HSA accounts. We used to have to do that through this back transfer in the old payroll system, and now our new payroll provider just handles those transfers directly. So it's it leaves our account and we don't have to.
So that doesn't end up under $50,000.
Learn something every day.
I just want to do analysis on it, I learn all the stuff that's true.
Okay, all those in favor of resolution 24, let them indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, resolution passed.
Thank you.
Consider resolution 25, authorizing the owner of 34 Stevens to transfer the property from Asmai Florida LLC for the purpose of team financing and is take that time to complete the work. Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I don't know if you want, I can just jump right into questions. So Mako International, the lender here, is a hard money lender. My experience with them, just riskier for this individual, right?
Yeah.
How confident are we that he's gonna be able to pull off the renovation with that loan and not, gets handled up at the foreclosure or anything of that nature? Especially, it seems like he's bringing on a partner as well.
But do you want
Yeah, I know he's had a tough time financially, and this is like his one way to get it completed, and I know he plans to live in the property. So, I'm comfortable giving him the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
Did we help them find other lenders? We don't get
No, we
involved.
don't get involved in that,
We don't want to be a caseworker here.
no.
Yeah, and I mean, so he owns I believe he still owns that property in Grandview Terrace. I know this because he got involved in a pretty serious landlord-tenant dispute a few years ago.
Yep.
That made the news. Just want to make sure we're all comfortable.
we're all aware of it, yeah.
Okay. That's my only question. Or only other question.
Sam took my question, I was gonna ask if it was a hard money lender, so I'm off that.
Any further questions on 25? Hearing none, all those in favor of 25, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, resolution 25 is passed. Consider resolution 26, authorizing the acquisition of certain real properties in the county of Albany at a nominal value. Motion?
So move.
Second.
Second.
So exhibit A is that list of properties, I went over them earlier, so the 252, 254 Second Avenue, the
We're
Gansford,
going to find this in a tab. Tab under resolution, so it should be turned to page 24 to
25,
25.
you can throw those.
26.
I'm sorry, yes, 26.
26, I keep up here.
It's very pretty.
Where was the list of properties in our executive meeting, real estate.
Okay, so 26, before Joe,
It's not-
board member, we're authorizing the acquisition of this property for nominal value.
You go to exhibit A, it'll be the last page of the
Go
resolution.
over there.
Keep going,
Yeah.
pass the resolution.
Yep.
And
One more.
okay, so it's attached to the resolution.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. So back.
We'll make sure it's
Right
there.
attached.
Yeah.
So if we vote on it, we say, we voted on this property. Okay. And this is, we're authorizing you to, one, we submitted the list to them, and then if that doesn't work out, or it's a separate resolution.
Separate resolution for that.
So this is just step one.
This is just to acquire, if the county says, yes,
Yes.
I don't need to bring it back to you.
And this is our code in the order of how to circumvent this Supreme Court.
So there's no money that has to be tied to this at this point.
At this point, we're asking for nominal, so usually $1 a lot, $1 per deed. The only thing I'll say in here is that number 10 Slingerland Street is the one they asked us to remove. I'm just gonna leave it. We can just leave that on there. If they don't convey it to us, they don't convey it to us, but it's on,
Was this on the
40.
last auction list? 40 Slingerland?
it's on the current, it was supposed to be on the current one. And they may have been the last,
Isn't it to like a yellow house, you know?
I don't remember. I know it's a big lot between Slingerland
Oh,
and
big,
Sand.
okay, so it's not the
Yeah, it's a
same one.
large lot
Okay.
between Slingerland and Sand. It could actually be 4 properties. We have Sand Chip, we can use Sand Street as a, it's an approved right of way.
Pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody else might already be there, but rather than pull that off, I'm not one to, pass by opportunity. I say leave it on there. And if we can't have it, we can't have it.
No
If something changes,
No harm to anybody.
we're sorry.
Okay.
And lack of me just being OCD, is there a reason that these numbers are shifted to the right?
And at the bottom.
Formatting.
Just for, okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I just want to make sure that what it
I'll
means
clean it
something.
up. There's two,
No,
yeah.
no, I just want
I noticed some of the fonting, we switched printers. So I don't know if the printers is,
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't seeing something I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
see.
wrong.
I pity the person who's never followed word on formatting.
yeah.
But I know this is a.
Well, yeah, because it's got extra numbers, and I thought maybe it meant something.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm trying to stay out of trouble.
Mhm.
Yeah, just an extra
Yeah,
tab,
I will
that
see
doesn't
council.
belong. We'll clean that up.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Guys need to.
Resolution 26, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 26.
Oh, I'm sorry, who motioned and seconded? I missed that.
Mark motion, I second.
Thank you.
Now,
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I second.
I'm sorry, don't listen to me.
you can remember the yellow house, though.
That's
impressive. You got it.
Okay, 27, we authorize the exchange of real property with Habitat for Humanity, 278, 91st Street, at a nominal value. Motion,
So moved.
second,
Second.
discussion. Take yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, resolution passed.
Hold up.
Number 28, authorize.
Wait. Next one, I'm on. It's on the-
All the houses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. You
Okay.
can't be voting. Got that?
Well, yeah, I won't, you could vote. I think you disclose you disclose a potential conflict of interest, that you're not paid by the housing authority to be on the board.
Correct. Well,
And there is no value for these.
Yeah, if you don't benefit financially from this, then I don't think the conflict exists and a disclosure is perfectly fine, but if you want to abstain, we can lose your vote tonight.
Yeah,
Whatever
we have
you
enough
want,
people,
just
you can
abstain.
abstain.
yeah,
There's a member's
On the-
presence of it, yes.
Okay.
Steamroll it in without.
Yes.
right, I just want to be safe.
Okay.
Okay, good.
There's good lawyers.
And you made fun of me about the numbers, and you just want to be safe. I see how you operate, it's about me, all right?
I'm trying to protect the organization. You work it right here, right here.
Okay. So 27, we have motion in the second, right?
Resolution 28.
28, yeah,
Yeah.
27 passed.
Was the motion?
28, 28.
Sorry, interrupt.
Okay, and property from Albany Housing Authority, we have a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, resolution 28 is passed. 29 says authorizing amendment to existing agreement with WPNT for an additional one property for demolition of 45 Second Avenue. Motion,
Motion moved.
second,
Second.
presentation or discussion?
I just, we would typically go out for an RFP on these, but we had an active RFP for demolition. We already have them mobilized. We went back and looked at the prices on the bid. We thought that they were still the best priced ones. So we don't know necessarily if we really achieved any advantage by putting it back out there. But the timing on the other project, a little time sensitive, so we just want to get this building down. So we'll just do this as an add-on to the existing RFP. I don't think that puts anybody at a disadvantage. So I'm fine.
Question, I know HRC had, wanted to try to save the cornice. Are they satisfied with our attempts to?
We have a $5,000 add-on for the contract to handle the cornice, although we've already consulted with Historic Albany Foundation. They don't think it's going to be salvageable. They think it's in such bad shape that, and did he get up there? No, I don't think it, did somebody get up there and take a look at it?
So what we're trying to find out is if someone could do that to save us from having to spend $5,000.
Yeah.
Someone trying to do it, but we know that it's not gonna last.
It's going to come down in pieces, so, but
Probably rotted up there, huh?
That's what he said,
They got
yeah.
time to look at it.
they asked,
Historic Albany, we didn't steamroll over them.
we were asked for a best, a good faith effort. We've included it, when we asked for the pricing, we included it in there. We consulted Historic Albany. I think we got a letter from Historic Albany stating they don't think it's feasible to maintain. They certainly, if we could save a piece of it, they would take a piece of it. But I think it's not that.
All those in favor of number 29, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Number 29 is approved. Consider resolution 30 for participate in the Albany County property auction. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Presentation.
So if we're not successful, if something were to happen in the legislature and they don't convey these properties to us, from resolution 26, I'd just like to take it exhibit A and draft this. We're going to attach it in here. If they'd like to give us some more broader authority to bid on other properties, I would gladly take it, but I think that we've looked at things and we have enough on our plates right now that I don't think there's anything that we would be an opportunity we're walking away from that with.
How many you've gone over with the 5-3
Multiple times.
Okay.
For the auction, you don't need authorization to spend.
So your resolution says that I can spend up to
Okay,
$200,000 in aggregate.
In aggregate.
Which is what we approved last time,
That was the last one.
the last one.
We didn't close it.
Right.
No. And I think what I would probably do, if we don't get those properties, they do go to auction, and may convene a couple of you that have good knowledge about pricing and come up with a strategy on it. But unless we want to engage a real estate committee for that meeting, which would just end up going into executive session anyway, or reach out to folks, and probably I'll talk to Charlie about that and see what direction we want to go.
All those in favor of resolution number 30, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Resolution 30 is passed. All business?
I don't have any old business, other than, like I said, I think we can cancel the July meeting. I don't have anything ahead of us.
What about our board retreat? Hate to keep bringing it back
I
up
know.
on you,
Oh,
Sean.
you know what, I meant to get your binder, but I didn't get it from Shelby before she left.
I got it.
Oh, you did? Oh, you got your binder,
I-
perfect.
Another thing I'll browse and
You
send
remember
you
to bring it.
Yeah.
No, they had
Oh, it's
it.
here.
I'm
It's
taking
here.
it back now.
Yeah, I think we're as far as we're gonna get in terms of appointments right now, so we can start planning for that, and we'll do it in the fall. I don't think anybody wants to do it for the summer. So we'll do it we'll do half a day. That was why we did the training with Whiteman, it was because we weren't getting that retreat together, so we did a little bit of training with them on the board responsibilities. So. I said quick meeting, but it's almost an hour, so.
But we don't have one in July, so.
So you get the,
Okay.
yeah. So, no more business before the board, you can easily stand adjourned or if you want to take a motion.
Second to adjourn?
No, he moved by unanimous
I can move
consent.
to that by unanimous consent. if nobody objects.
Right, no objections, let's go.
What do I say?
Nothing.
That's it.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.
The only thing you have to do is if somebody said, no, I want to stay longer.
Yeah, right.